Hello friends, myself Dr. Veena Sakadandi here again with a new topic from Foundation of Nursing and Medical Surgical Nursing, that is nursing process. And under nursing process today we are going to see fourth session of nursing process, that is interventions, plan, implementations and evaluation. So let us start with the topic. So last three sessions we have seen about the introduction of nursing process, what is nursing process, steps of nursing process, what are the purposes, characteristics of nursing process, and how the Nanda diagnosis initiated. And then we started with the nursing diagnosis, second session. Then third session was expected outcome, and today is a fourth session under nursing process, that is a intervention plan, implementation and evaluation. So let us start with the today's topic. So here definition of nursing process already we have seen. So it is organized framework, and again it include nursing assessment, nursing diagnosis, expected outcome, plan intervention, implementation and evaluation, and it is a systematic way of carrying out the steps of care of patient. So there are again 6 steps, important steps of nursing process already we have seen in first session: assessment, diagnosis, expected outcome, planning, implementation and evaluation. So let us start with today's session, that is first part is nursing intervention. So what do you understand with the word nursing intervention? Interventions, that is a action taken by nurses to fulfill the need of the patient and care of the patient, and then after that there will be a implementation and evaluation. So nursing intervention basically it is a plan of action. Like for example, patient is suffering from respiratory problem, a patient is suffering from some infection. So what nursing intervention we are going to plan? There may be you can plan hundreds of things, or we can plan like 10 interventions. For respiratory problem, assessing the respiratory problem, checking the respiratory rate, then giving the Fowler position. These all intervention we can plan. And when we plan the intervention, within a 2 intervention, 2 implementation, patient get relief of that. So we stop further in implementation. So nursing intervention mainly it is a plan of action as per the priority and as per requirement of the patient. So next is there are some categories in implementation plan. That is first is it is a nurse initiated intervention. Nurse initiated intervention, that means nurses assess the patient, subjective data, objective data, then formulate the nursing diagnosis, put into priority and plan the expected outcome, and then go to the planning of intervention. When the nurse is planning the care, planning the intervention, that means nurse initiated intervention, basically related to nursing care. Second is physician initiated intervention, like there is some prescription, there are some notes in clinical notes in the file, so accordingly we plan the care as per physician's prescription, that is physician initiated intervention. For example, like oxygen therapy, like so many 4 to 6 liter oxygen therapy has to be given to the patient, so it is a physician initiated intervention we plan and then implement. In collaborative intervention may be it may be nurse initiated intervention or physician initiated intervention, or maybe it will be with other team member discussed with the patient's problem and we plan the nursing intervention. So these are the 3 categories of intervention: nurse initiated intervention, physician initiated intervention and collaborative intervention. Next is a management, how we are going to manage patient and what are the specific points, key points we need to remember while we plan the intervention, nursing intervention plan. So it is based on the clinical judgment. What is your clinical judgment? What is your decision making capacity when patient is having like breathing problem? What decision you are going to take? What judgment you are going to take? What is your skill and knowledge? So it is basically evidence based assessment of the patient, then you plan about the care with your judgment, with your decision, and with your knowledge. Next is an autonomous decision action based on the some of the scientific principles. So we cannot just take the action, or we just cannot take the any decision and plan the care. So there should be some action, or there should be some specific principles to be followed or consider while taking the planning the interventions. So these are the basic very important key factor that we should identify the priorities of the problem, we should judge the problem, we should take the decision, and we should follow the scientific principle when we plan the interventions. So it is a we can say decision making is a autonomous decision making, or action is based on the scientific principles. So whatever nurses are taking the decision, application of the scientific principles and applying the knowledge, they plan the care or they plan the interventions, and it is mainly related to, it is based on the nursing diagnosis, expected outcome. So there will be a flow of, like, first there will be assessment, there will be a nursing diagnosis, expected outcome, and accordingly plan of interventions. Next we'll see the action performed by the nurses, like what are the basic key factors or what are the aspects we can consider while we perform the action or before we plan the intervention. So first we need to monitor the health status of the patient or health issues of the patient. Without that we cannot have the nursing diagnosis, or we cannot have expected outcome and plan intervention. Next is a reduce the risk. It will help to reduce the risk. Always there is a potential problem, or we can say risk factors. For example, developing the hospital acquired infection. So we try to reduce the risk. Then it will help to resolve, prevent and manage the health issues of the patient. Then it will facilitate the independence. That means it will be in a collaboration with the team member. It will be with the mutual understanding with the patient, and we plan the care. So it is an independent planning and taking the action for the early recovery of the patient or resolving the patient's problem. Next, promote optimal sense of physical, psychological and spiritual well-being. These interventions will help us and even the patient to develop the sense of physical, psychological and spiritual well-being as well. Next, we will see what is a standardized interventions. What do you understand with the word standardization? So that will be there will be some protocols, or there will be some standardized formulation of the intervention action. So it will meet specific criteria. There will be some specific criteria for the planning the intervention, nursing interventions. So first is a be concise. It should be very concise, simple statement, clear statement, so everyone can understand the statement. So be concise always. A nursing action is very much important. Like it should reflect the nursing action, not the physician action or any other's action. It should reflect the nursing action. That means, for example, providing Fowler's position. So it is very specific, concise and action. Dates when written. It should mention the date when you are going to plan the intervention. If, like, for example, you're planning at the 8 o'clock morning and then implementing in the evening, it is not done. So it should be a time constraint, we can say, and date has to be mentioned, time duration has to be mentioned. Dates of the planning care should be reviewed. Like morning you're planning this care, even you have to revise after few hours or afternoon, evening time. So there should be a revising the plan also. It should be always signed by the registered nurse, and whoever is implementing, or registered nurse or the assistant, whoever is implementing, should be signed the plan, and it is always acceptable in the abbreviation, or it should be a word, common word should be used so that everyone can accept and understand. Next, there are some examples of interventions. Like when we talk about a nursing intervention, there are some examples of nursing intervention. When client is having breathlessness, for example, when patient is having breathlessness, so we give the semi-fowler's position to patient, or 30 angle, 40, 50 angle position to the patient, so that there will be expansion of the chest and patient will have a normal breathing pattern. Check the respiratory rate and associated symptom. Then start with the oxygen therapy. Then reassess the respiratory rate and breathing pattern. So this will be a like example when patient is having breathing problem. This is a simple example how we can have the intervention plan. Next, we will see nursing implementation. Again, the word itself says implementation. Who is going to implement? Nurses are going to implement. So nursing implement, that is a taking the action. Taking the action, whatever care we have planned, we are going to take action on that. That means we are implementing, providing care to the patient. So here first is a nursing assessment, then nursing diagnosis, expected outcome, intervention plan, and then we go for nursing implementation. That is a action by nursing people when it is planned. Next, we'll see continue. What is implementation? So word implementation or word implementing, like that is a nursing action plan in the previous step are carried out. Whatever intervention we plan, whatever intervention we have planned before, so we are going to take action on that, or we are carried out that intervention. That means giving the care to the patient as per nursing plan. So what are the purposes of nursing implementation? What are the purposes? We should understand the purposes of this implementation so that it will be a scientific way of understanding and implementing the care given to the patient. So first is to help the client in achieving the valued health outcome. So this will help, implementation will help to the patient or to the client to achieve the valued health outcome or recovery of the patient. So ultimately when patient care is given, ultimately patient is going to have the recovery from that particular problem. Second, promote the health. There are some actions taken to promote the health. For example, like stimulation. Very simple example, stimulation will help to relieve the congestion. If your patient is not having any congestion, still if you give the stimulation, it will help for the improving the circulation or soothing to the respiratory tract. Second is to prevent disease and illness. To prevent disease and illness, some actions are taken, like for example, counseling of the patient, health education of the patient will help to prevent the diseases and illnesses. Next, some intervention will help to restore the health, restoration of normal health, like diet. If we advise the diet rich in protein, multivitamin, ultimately patient is going to have a good immunity and promote or restore the health. Then facilitate coping with the altered function. Even this can be one of the intervention when we counsel the patient, explain the patient about the disease condition, and patient accept as it is and try to cope up with the altered function or some whatever disease process, any abnormality or outcome, patient try to accept that. That is to facilitate coping with altered function. Next, we'll see the implementation, and there are some specific wordings or which gives the meaning to the nursing interventions. The first is a performing. Performing, that is taking the action, care planned, whatever care is planned, we are taking action. That is performing or doing. Then assisting. Assisting, that means like there is a procedure of lumbar puncture in the ward and patient is suffering from meningitis and there is a procedure of lumbar puncture and you are assisting for lumbar puncture. That is a giving care to the patient while lumbar puncture. Directing. Directing, that means helping other to take the action. Directing. For example, somebody is taking blood for the investigation. So directing him or explaining or helping them to take how to take the blood and how to label it, like if newcomers are there. Counseling of the patient is very important. Counseling or explaining the procedure, maintaining the interpersonal relationship with the patient. Then teaching, again same thing, teaching or health education to the patient related to disease condition, home care, diet, prevention of complications. Then next is a providing direct care. Providing direct care, that means care, personal care or patient direct care, whatever is advised, direct care is given to the patient. Delegating, like if it is not possible for you to delegate care, you plan the care but you cannot fulfill that care in your like duty hours, so you can just delegate that care to some skilled person or equi skilled person, delegating. Then supervising, whoever is giving, like there is a in charge, ward in charge, registered nurse, and there is a assistant nurse who is giving the care. So supervising whether the quality care is given to the patient, whether scientific principles are used, that is supervising. Next is evaluating. Evaluation of care is very much important. Whatever care you are given or whatever care is given or how the care is given, implemented, it has to be evaluated. Recording. Please remember the key aspect, recording. When we do anything, we are going to record it and sign it. So it is your responsibility, accountability, that when we give the care and we don't record, that means it is wrong thing. So we should record the care after giving the care and countersign it. Then exchanging the information, like whatever information, like I have a information about something very important, I am a knowledgeable person in that particular procedure or care, so I am going to exchange that information with my team members. Then continued health education and health care to the patient. Not once it is planned and then given care, so it should be re-planned and then again continue with the health care. So these are the some of the important points or action that is under implementation: performing, assisting, directing, counseling, then teaching, providing direct care, delegating, supervising, evaluating, recording, and exchanging of the information and continue health care. So next we go to the reassessment. Once care is given, assessment is done, nursing diagnosis is formulated, expected outcome is formulated, intervention is planned, then care is given, then point comes to the reassessment. So reassessment is assessing the care given. Whatever action you have taken, whatever nursing care is given, we need to reassess. So to determine whether the planned nursing action still appropriate or we need to again give that same care to the patient for the wellness of the patient, and we can repeat also that care. So for example, I have given here one example. You plan to give the passive exercise to the patient. You find the client is having breathing difficulty, then you must help patient to take Fowler position. So this is like reassessing the patient, like problem will be one and you are giving care to the one problem, and again you find out that there is some other problem. So you are reassessing that problem and again helping patient to take care and give care to the patient. Then revising the nursing care plan also is very important. Once care is given, one action is taken, we need to again revise the nursing care plan as per patient's need. So how we go again nursing assessment, and then revise the nursing assessment data, revise nursing diagnosis, and then again plan, formulate expected outcome, plan nursing intervention, and then implementation. So revising the nursing care plan is also the task of nurses, and it is a responsibility only responsibility of the nurses. Next is the communication of nursing intervention. So we give nursing care to the patient, but many times what happens, sometime in a time constraint we do not communicate. So communication of nursing intervention is also very much important. That is communication, that is oral communication and documentation of nursing intervention, what care is given, what is the evaluation of your care, what is the patient's response, and whether physiologically or like it is measurable in the some form of respiratory rate, heart rate and all these things, or temperature, we need to record it. So communication and nursing intervention has to be recorded, documented. Next, this is the last step of nursing process, that is nursing evaluation. So again I will repeat, we have a nursing assessment, that is subjective data, objective data, we formulate nursing diagnosis, we put that nursing diagnosis in priority, then we have a expected outcome, then intervention plan, then we go to the implementation, that is action, nursing action, and then last step of nursing process is nursing evaluation. So what is evaluation? That is, we are going to find out the effect of nursing care provided to the patient. For example, again, patient is suffering from breathing problem and you formulate the nursing diagnosis, altered breathing pattern related to chest congestion, and then you formulate the expected outcome, that is patient will have normal breathing pattern as evidenced by normal respiratory rate, and then you plan the action, then you implement, and then time comes you evaluate the care given, whether patient is having normal breathing pattern or patient is respiration is at the normal level. So nursing evaluation is the action evaluation, whatever action or nursing care given to the patient as per the priority nursing problem we evaluate, that is nursing evaluation. So here during nursing evaluation phase, nurse and patient comes together, and it is not only the nurses evaluate the care, it is a evaluation by the patient also, whether the goal is achieved, whether the expected outcome is achieved. So this evaluation phase is a combined or it can be evaluated by the patient as well as the nurses or other team members also. So there are 5 steps of objective evaluation. There are 5 steps we can see here. First is identify nursing evaluation criteria and the standard. We need to identify the nursing evaluation criteria. According to criteria only we are going to evaluate the nursing care. Collect the data, like for example before nursing diagnosis, before during the nursing assessment we have a specific data, and then we have a problem, we identify the problem, formulate the nursing diagnosis, and then we need to have both the data before the nursing care and after the nursing care, and then you correlate or you evaluate or you compare whether there is a change in the particular parameters. Next, interpretation and summarization of finding. We should have an interpretation and summarization of the findings, document findings, then terminate, continue or revise, whether patient is having effect of that action, nursing care given, whether patient is having the continuity of the care, we need to have the document for that. Like for example, terminate, like same example, respiratory problem, you take the action, patient is having reduction in the respiratory rate, that means patient respiration is normal, that means you are going to terminate that action. Still patient is having breathing problem, that means you continue with that particular action. Or if that interventions are not effective for the patient, then you revise the intervention or you add the intervention, and again you reassess the nursing care plan, and again you plan the care. So these are the 5 steps of objective evaluation. In purpose, what is the purpose of evaluation? There are specific purpose of evaluation. So first is to evaluate the nursing care given. Whatever care, already I said, whatever care is given to the patient, we need to evaluate. That is to evaluate the nursing care given. That is the first purpose of evaluation. Second, to examine the client's response to nursing intervention. So we need to examine, we need to understand the patient's response to the nursing care. Though that is also one of the purpose of evaluation. Third one is to compare the client's response with the outcome criteria. To compare the patient's response, how patient is responding to the outcome criteria, whether patient is having recovery, patient is happy with the nursing action taken, nursing care given, and to assess the extent to which the patient goals were met. So we need to have the mutual evaluation here, whether the patient's goal is achieved, whether patient symptoms is relieved, or whatever expected outcome you have formulated, whether it is fulfilled. So these are the purposes of evaluation under nursing process. Last step. Next, continuation with this, to assess the involvement and collaboration of other health member for taking any decision, or it is a teamwork. So to assess the involvement and collaboration of other in healthcare team. For example, if you are busy with some schedule, you are giving care to the patient, but side by side you need help of some team member, other nurses. So involvement of decision making and implementing of the care is important. Then to provide the basis of revision of nursing care plan. Also it helps, evaluation helps to revise or to again plan the care for same patient. Again, if symptoms are not relieved, so we need to revise the nursing care plan. So then to monitor quality of nursing care given, again same thing. So we can understand the quality care given to the patient, that also can be evaluated under the evaluation. To assess the effect of nursing intervention on the client's health status. So assess the effect of nursing intervention, whether it is your nursing care is effective on the patient's symptoms, whether symptoms are relieved. For example, patient is having abdominal pain and patient is crying with the pain, and then you assess the pain. Subjective data, objective data you have taken. You formulate the nursing diagnosis, you plan the EOC, that is expected outcome, intervention you plan, and you provide the care like giving comfortable position, diversional therapy, hot or warm therapy. Then you give the diversional therapy, counsel the patient, comfortable position, comfort devices you provide. Then at the end you can give analgesic as per prescription. And then you check the effect of this. If pain is relieved, that means your care is effective. If pain is not relieved, you have to revise your nursing care plan additionally with the other nursing interventions. Then after the evaluation, what we are going to do? After the evaluation is what we are going to have. So to discontinue the nursing care plan, to ensure that if patient is feeling better, patient symptoms are relieved, you are going to discontinue with that same action which is unnecessary, which is not required for the patient. Then to modify the care plan after the reassessment, then you formulate the new nursing diagnosis, goal and expected outcome. So after the evaluation, you come to know patient is relieved from that particular problems, like breathing problem. Patient have normal breathing pattern as evidenced by normal respiratory rate. That means you are going to discontinue with that intervention, and then you find out further problem of the patient, formulate nursing diagnosis, expected outcome, nursing intervention, implementation, and then again you go for evaluation. So it is a cyclic procedure. So nursing process is we can say it is a cyclic procedure. So there are specific steps. Then a requirement for evaluate the nursing care plan. What is a requirement? What are the criteria, or what are the requirements to be needed for the nursing care plan evaluation? So first we should have a knowledge about the nursing process. That is the first thing. I must have a knowledge about the all steps of nursing process. Nursing assessment, nursing diagnosis, expected outcome, implementation plan, then actual implementation and evaluation, and again reassessment, and again revising the nursing care plan. So I should have a knowledge about the standard nursing process. Then there should be a normal patient response. There should be cooperation and normal response from the patient. Ability to monitor effectiveness of nursing intervention. Ability to monitor. So once the care is given, we need to again reevaluate, reassess, monitor the patient's response and even the effectiveness of the care. Then awareness of the clinical research. I must have the awareness about the clinical research. So now we come to the end of the all 4 sessions under the nursing process. So in the first session of nursing process, we have seen about definition of nursing process, purposes of nursing process, how the Nanda diagnosis initiated and started. Then next we have seen about the characteristics of nursing process, then steps of nursing process, and started with the nursing assessment. In section 2, we have seen all about in depth about nursing diagnosis. In third session, we have seen about expected outcome, and this session, today's session is the fourth session, and today we have seen about the nursing intervention plan, nursing implementation, and nursing evaluation. So hope you understood about the nursing process in detail. Thank you for watching videos, and if you like my channel, make sure to like, share, subscribe and comment down below, and do not forget to click on the bell icon so that you will get updates of my videos. So do not miss my videos, so please subscribe my channel. So I request you all to subscribe my channel, so you will get the all videos related to nursing subjects like foundation of nursing, medical surgical nursing, advanced nursing practice, nursing research, nursing education. So thank you so much. Take care. See you in next session.